playing. Uh, hello, everyone. We are playing Otogirisou, which is a sound novel for the SNES, and it is considered, um, like the birth of the sound novel genre. And there's an English patch that just came out, and I'm actually very excited to play through it. I've never played this before, and I've been told it's very good. Okay, let me boost that up. That any better? Hello, test. That should be better. I can always lower the game volume. There we go, much better. I'm trying not to be too loud. I have roommates still sleeping. Okay, so okay, enter in. Is there a note? Oh, just enough to put our name. That's good. Okay. The narrow mountain road weaved back and forth. What button do I press? I'm not sure if it was because of the shadows from the mountain or something else, but it felt oddly gloomy. Oh, I forgot it was St. Patrick's Day. My sense of time has been out the window lately. The trees were all lined up in a row like a procession of corpses, and the way the rocks were shaped made them look like monsters. I decided to put those disturbing thoughts out of my head. I could hear Nami breathing lightly as she slept. She was awake until just a moment ago. I figured she must be tired after a day of fishing at the river. She looked so beautiful as she slept. Okay, that's kind of creepy. I don't... This is a weird setup. As I gripped the steering wheel, I couldn't help but gaze at her. Ah! Sachu! A car! Nami suddenly shouted. Without thinking, I was just about to hit the brakes, but there was no car heading towards us at all. Nami? Oh, was that a dream? Come on, get it together. I pretended like I was gonna smack her with my elbow. Oh, it's your mom's birthday. Happy birthday to them. And at that time, oh, okay. Okay, now we got a choice. So it's A, I thought about how cute Nami was. I shivered like I just had a pre-notion of something sinister. I'm gonna do the sinister thing. I feel like that's the better. Let's do that. I shivered like I just had a premonition of something sinister. Nami looked out the window. Hey, Sachu. What? What's the name of those flowers, I wonder? I noticed them earlier. There was a big stretch of yellow flowers beside the road that had long, thin stems and elliptical leaves. They go by a few names: Hypercilium, St. John's wort, or Otogirisou. Spelled out, that's brother cut flowers. Otogirisou. Yeah. There's a weird story about those flowers. I thought I'd tell it to Nami to make the drive a little interesting, so... Let's see, we got another choice. I figured I could embellish the story. I decided to make it a little spooky. Let's do... embellish the story. Once upon a time. Huh? What's this about all of a sudden? It happened ages ago. Two brothers, falconers, lived deep in the forest. The two of them got along well and always spent their days hunting together. Are you saying falconers hunt for falcons? With falcons. Anyway, they were from a prestigious family that was well known for raising strong falcons, but they had a secret. a secret medicine that healed falcon wounds. It had been passed down in their family for generations. With that medicine, falcons that usually would have died from their injuries healed right up. That's not fair, keeping it all to themselves? Maybe so. But it was for that reason that the brothers were respected by the nobility. One day, the ruler of their village gathered all the falconers around for a hunting tournament there. A hunting tournament? Weird. I don't think that's weird. Like, that's just a normal thing. Like, I guess depending on when this is set. Take a sip of water. Don't pester me about the story, alright? It feels like it's dragging on, though. Okay, just listen to the end anyway. Should I give you the short version? No, I want to hear the story in full. We're hearing the story in full. Just listen to the end anyway. Okay. I regained my composure and continued telling the story. The weather was beautiful that day. It was the perfect day to go on a hunt. Everything was going well, so the nobleman was in an especially good mood. However, you scared me. Don't just suddenly shout at me like that. After the sound of a huge bolt of lightning echoed forth, the clear sky suddenly became cloudy, and big chunks of hail fell from the sky. Everyone fled in a panic. That must have really hurt, huh? Oh, that hail must have really hurt, huh? Oh, rain started falling here, too. The falcons flying above them had it especially rough. The hail was as big as a fist, after all, which was unusual for that time of year. The falcons were getting knocked to the ground, gravely wounded. How tragic. Naturally, the hunt was called off. The nobleman was furious. He said that the hunt would have to take place in 5 days. The falcons had to be healed by then, or it'd be off with the owners' heads. That's impossible. That'd be impossible, though. That night, the falconers all assembled at the brothers' house to get them to share the secret medicine. The kind-hearted younger brother took pity on them. And then what happened? The older brother would hear none of it. Their ancestors had been treated terribly by the people of that village. Their medicine was the only thing that allowed them to overcome all the adversity they faced. Before their father had passed away, he told them never to share the secret medicine. They couldn't betray their father. That night, the younger brother couldn't sleep. He thought that he could collect his thoughts at the lake, but instead he found a young woman trying to walk straight down into the water there. "What are you doing?" he shouted as he ran over to her. "Please, just let me die. Please." "What are you saying?" The brother lifted her out of the water and asked her to explain herself. "I'll be honest with you. There's no way my father's falcons can be healed in 5 days, and he's the only family I have. If he's beheaded, then I'm as good as dead. I just want to be waiting for my dad, there to greet him in the afterlife." Hearing this, the younger brother went and brought her back some of the secret medicine. "Here, use this on your father's falcon." That's a tongue twister. "If you do, it'll be healed in 5 days, and you can share it with the other villagers too." "Is it really okay?" "Don't even think about killing yourself, okay? Just hurry up now. Go!" "Thank you so much. I'll never forget what you've done for us." The girl headed home with tears in her eyes. The younger brother didn't tell his older brother what he'd done, and then 5 days later, the secret was out, right? It was. The falcons of all the neighboring villages were flying again, and the nobleman was overjoyed. The falconers all breathed a sigh of relief. And the younger brother didn't go on the hunt that day. Instead, he put on a white robe ready to die. He waited for his older brother to return, and then... What happened then? Upon returning, the older brother said this: "You don't regret what you did, do you?" "I don't." And then the older brother lopped off his younger brother's head right there on the spot. Oof. Oof. Oh no, man. No. that's that's a little, that's scary. This is, oh, it's not the tab I wanted. That's scary. I don't like, that's like, oh god, no, 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 no. That's a scary. That's scary. Okay. What? At that moment, the blood splattered across the leaves of this hyperciliums nearby, leaving black spots upon them that never went away. Okay, I wasn't trying to be funny with that. It was just a weird transition. Okay. When someone saw the flowers later, they started calling them Otogirisou, the brother cut flowers. Flowers each have a meaning, and wait, what exactly was the meaning of that flower? Weird. My mind just totally blanked. Was it like your first love or something? What do you think a story like that was supposed to be a love story? Well, I mean, with the girl alone in the lake and all, there's no way it means your first love. What was it though? It was something more to do with misfortune. I know it wasn't suicide though. A flower that stands for suicide? I've never heard of anything so ridiculous. Nami laughed. I responded calmly, it's not out of the question. I started laughing too. Let's do the first one. I responded calmly. It's not out of the question. It's a big world out there. There are so many flowers with so many meanings. Hey, more importantly, are we heading the right way? I feel like this place looks really different compared to before. Now that you mentioned it, it did look different. I think we're going the right way now that you mention it. It's weird. This was supposed to be a shortcut. I think we're going to do the shortcut. Now that you mention it, it's weird. This was supposed to be a shortcut. You mean your brain took a shortcut, right? Nami mocked my stupidity under her breath. This is no time to be joking around. We need to hurry. Push down on the gas pedal. Whoa. Turn the steering wheel quickly. I managed to dodge the car barely, but the car was careening downhill. Something wasn't right. The brakes weren't working. The car was gradually picking up speed. Sachu! Brake! I'm stepping on the brakes. They're not doing anything. Well, do something. To my left was a big tree, and to my right was a river. We're gonna be fine. Parking brake. I'm gonna take on the gamble of this here. Gonna drive into the river. I feel like the parking brake makes the most sense, because if you drive into the tree, you're gonna get hit. If you drive into the river, you're gonna drown. Parking brake, this is what the parking brake is for. We're gonna be fine. I pulled on the parking brake. No dice. We're not gonna die. I shouted as I stepped on the brakes again, but it didn't do anything. Okay, but the parking brake is a different type of brake, though. It shouldn't, like, this isn't making logical sense. Nami tucked her head down. I closed my eyes, too, but I was so worked up that I kept screaming. Something. Sachu. Huh? When I opened my eyes, I saw that the car had stopped. Nami had her eyes cast down, and she was kind of blushing. Did I shout something embarrassing in the heat of the moment? Don't tell me I shouted out that I loved her. To hide how bashful I felt, I said, "Are you okay, Nami? This is why it's so scary to drive on mountain roads." This is so scary to drive on the mountain roads. Oh. A bolt of lightning fell on the tree right before our eyes, split the tree in two, and set it on fire. It's coming down. We flew out of the car. Sachu, your car. The tree had fallen directly onto the car, smashing it. The top of the car had caved in and the front windshield was busted. It was a sad sight. In older cars, it was an emergency brake, not for parking. Yeah, that's what I thought. Like, older cars, like, it's the I always was taught it's the emergency brake. Like, you use it if you know, if you're like in a spin out situation and your brakes aren't pumping. That's how I was taught in driver's ed. Like, you use it in case your brakes aren't. It's the emergency brake. That, and if you're parking uphill, you're supposed to have it on, even though it doesn't. In newer cars, it doesn't really do anything. Dang, this started getting all biblical, burning trees down. Oh, I mean, it's cool the effects they managed to do on the SNES. Like, it's pretty cool. Like, I wasn't expecting it to be so animated. Like, it's cool. I can understand why this game was so pivotal. Okay, it'll be all right. At least we're both okay. I hid how disappointed I felt. Yeah, your car is dead, dude. I felt it took all I had in me to keep up a strong front. I too would be upset if my car got a tree falling on it. Like, even though my car is crappy, it still gets me to point A to point B. I would not be happy. Maybe you could get it remodeled into a convertible. I don't think that's how that works. No. Oh, now that's a good idea. The car caught on fire. The car caught on fire. Serious? How did the car... okay. I mean, I guess since the tree was on fire, the car would catch on fire. But, like, I feel like it wouldn't catch on fire immediately. And, like, if it is raining, I feel like the fire wouldn't be able to spread because the car has been wet already. Well, that dream didn't last very long, did it? It was stupid of me to dream of it in the first place. It wouldn't have worked anyway. Remodeling an ordinary car into a convertible would have just looked lame. I muttered to myself. Nami gave me a pat on the back. Sour grapes. Anyway, what should we do now, Sachu? The car's been totaled and it's raining. She sounded worried. I felt worried too, so you moved closer. We should start by looking for a path. I pointed to a light in the distance. We should start looking for a path. We should start by looking for a path. How? It's pitch black out. The fire that had started in the car had been extinguished by the rain. See, it wouldn't have, like, totaled the car with the fire, because it just got extinguished. So, I mean, if it didn't hit the engine, I'm wondering if, like, you could have just moved the tree out of the way. That's what I brought this for. I pulled out a flashlight from what remained of the car. When I turned it on, it lit up a field of yellow flowers. What? These are hyperciliums everywhere. Hey, there's a mailbox over there. Nami pointed to the forest a little further ahead. There was a weather-beaten red mailbox, and just behind it, a small path leading into the forest. Okay, this sounds bad. This sounds like a Scooby-Doo situation. Like, I feel like this is gonna be a Scooby-Doo situation where it's like, they go into this house, they get offered by the owner to stay, but there's some weird spooky story behind it, and then at the end of the day, like, they find out it's Old Man Jenkins. But let's keep going. Maybe there's a house up ahead. Okay, Nami. Get that bag out of the car. We've got a change of clothes in there. Yeah? Yeah. After I popped the trunk open, Nami not only pulled out the bag, she pulled out the car cover sheet. What did you pull that out for? For shelter against the rain. It's not going to do anything for us if we just leave it in here. Why not put it to good use? Isn't it going to be kind of hard to walk around under that? It's fine. I want to. There's no point in arguing with crying children, or Nami. We each got under the car cover and headed to the mailbox. After that, we walked deeper into the forest towards the light. I mean, that is kind of a good idea to use it as a cover sheet, because, I mean, it's probably like a tarp material, so, I mean, it's still better than nothing. Beside a small path were yellow hyperciliums. It was almost as if they were inviting us to continue down the path. It's kind of scary, isn't it? Nami said from behind me. Oh, there's owl noises. I hear a hoo, hoo. Yeah, but we've got... Or Nami, dang, dude, respect your friend a bit. Let's see, we got... Yeah, but we've got nowhere else to go. Taking Nami's hand in mine, I'll let her deeper into the forest. Should we wait here until morning? Okay, well, I don't think waiting until morning is a good idea. So we're gonna go with choice A. Yeah, but we've got nowhere else to go. Taking Nami's hand in mine, I led her deeper into the forest. As we moved, the trees were becoming more and more overgrown. The car cover kept getting snagged by the branches, making it hard to walk. Hey, it's getting hard to walk with this cover, isn't it? Should we just leave it behind? No. I don't want us to get wet. We're already wet from just all of the leaves brushing up against us. And we've got a fresh change of clothes in the bag there, don't we? No. My hair gets all frizzy when it gets wet. Why is that your first priority? Is like, no, my hair. Dude, you're going towards Scooby-Doo Mansion. I don't think the hair is the worst of your worries here. Your hair's short now, though. You'll be fine. No. It'll give me callus. And I heard that rain can make your hair fall out. Okay. Oh, can it? I was about to tell her that was just an old wives' tale, but I stopped myself. That's the thing about Nami. She wouldn't even listen to me, even if I tried. I reluctantly kept going forward, trudging slowly down the dark path. Eventually, the path split into two. The path on the right went slightly uphill, while the path on the left sloped down. The two paths were about the same width. Which way should we go? Nami asked me as if I would know. I tried to be confident, it's the path to the right. I tried to be confident, it's the path to the left. I said arrogantly I wouldn't know. After a moment of hesitation, I said, you choose, Nami. I feel like it's gonna be the one sloping up. So that was the one to the left. It's the path to the left. Really? Nami looked at me with doubt in her eyes. I laughed and said, I don't actually know for sure. What? But we've got to go down one of these paths, so it might as well be this one. True. Was the left path the right one? The left path turned out to be the right one in the end. Okay, so it was the ups. Okay. Interesting. The path sloped down for a bit, then it sloped back up again. It seemed we were on the correct path. We caught a glimpse of a light up ahead. We were relieved and slowed our pace as we continued along. Something still bothers me, though. I said as we walked along. What? The brakes. It's just strange, you know? The car brakes. Yeah. There was nothing wrong with them when we headed out. On the way back, we were going uphill, so I never even had to hit the brakes. I only had to hit the brakes just then, at that moment. So you're saying someone messed with the car while we were out? Yeah, but this went too far to just call it messing with us. You're right. We almost died back there. I don't remember anything that makes someone want to kill me. Hey, maybe. Lightning. Nami stood still and looked up at the sky. Huh? Lightning again. It's true. We'd be in trouble if it strikes here. We need to hurry. The path is totally level now, without any slope. We ran straight out of the forest. Okay, that's some Scooby-Doo looking shit. Suddenly we could see it. Right before our eyes, there was a huge mansion. It made us forget all about being scared of the lightning and the intensity of the rain. We stood there in awe for a moment. A huge iron gate gleamed back, wet with rain. We could see how big the mansion's garden alone was through the gaps in the gaps in the gate. What a mansion, huh? Okay, this is like a setup to a Scooby-Doo episode. Like, this is like the mystery gang, like, their car breaks down, and they find an abandoned mansion. It starts raining, and they're like, oh, we need to take shelter from the rain. And then they go into the mansion, and spooky shit happens, and then they find out, oh, it's the neighbor across the street, because there's gold buried in the backyard or something. What a mansion, huh? Nami muttered as if her breath had been taken away. It really was impressive. The mansion itself was probably a good 50 meters from the gate. Maybe it was because of how far it was, or maybe it was just the rain, but the mansion didn't seem to be in the best shape. Still, the sight of it made my pulse pound for some reason. Should we go in? Yeah. I'm a little scared, though. I approached the gate. It didn't seem to be locked. There was an intercom on the right column. Okay, so we have a choice. Push the intercom without any hesitation. Should we try pressing it? I asked Nami. Should we head back then? Well, at this point, we might as well just press the button. I pressed the intercom button without any hesitation. I waited a good while, but I didn't get any response. Nobody's home, maybe. I pressed the intercom button again, but as I expected, there was no response. It's weird, isn't it? The lights are on, though. It was true. There were several windows in the mansion where you could see light coming through. I pushed the gate, and it opened without a sound. I figured it wasn't locked, and I was right. What should we do? Ah! Whoa! The sudden flash of lightning sent us reflectively into the grounds of the estate. I would have gone away with it too, but that dang lightning brought these middle kids. I don't know if this when this was written or anything, but this is. I'm wondering how much Scooby-Doo did have an influence on this, because it's pretty Scooby-Doo setup. And I mean, it's not bad, but maybe it's just because, at the time, this was groundbreaking, yeah, but I'm just like, this is a Scooby, to me, since I've watched a lot of Scooby-Doo, this is just a Scooby-Doo setup. But, the sudden flash of lightning sent us reflectively into the grounds of the estate. It was totally unkept inside. The grass went all the way up to my waist. It was like there were walls of grass on both sides of the brick lane-lined path. They really let this place go, huh? Hey, aren't these hyperciliums? Nami pointed down. You're right. They're blooming here too, huh? And it's not just here. Look, there's some over there too. Hey, hand me that flashlight. Nami shined the light over the entire garden. They're everywhere! What? She gasped. There was a whole lot more than one or two of them. They were growing all over every corner of the garden. I'm wondering, is this like an invasive plant? If you just plant one, like they just spread everywhere? Or is this like someone deliberately planted it all? Why are there so many of them growing here? The wind grew strong. It sent a wave through the countless yellow flowers. The wave moved from the gate to the mansion. I could almost feel the mansion shake from the impact of the wave, and then it stopped. I stood there in the rain, struck by the thought that I'd witnessed something sinister and dark. Hey! Nami put her hand up to her ear. Do you hear that? Something's rustling. Huh? You mean the wind blowing through the leaves? No, not that. Something else. Suddenly, a speckled snake slithered out from the tall grass. Is this a Pokemon battle? I could see its fangs glistening in its open mouth. You hear it, right? That sound. What are you talking about? Look! It's a snake! Snake! A snake! I took Nami by the hand and ran towards the mansion in a panic. Hey, wasn't that a rattlesnake? What's it doing in a place like this? Nami shouted as we ran. Okay, are there rattlesnakes in Japan? I don't think there are. Like, isn't rattlesnake like a North American snake? I need to look this up later. How should I know? Why don't you ask the snake yourself? It's poisonous. If I tried talking to it, it would bite me for sure. We screamed back and forth at each other as we sprinted as hard as we could. We ran up the stepstones to the entrance, and when we turned back, we saw the snake slithering towards us over the brick-lined path. I grabbed the door's handle. The door was locked, and it wouldn't even budge. Excuse me, could you open the door, please? Please? There didn't seem to be any response from inside of the mansion. Sachu, it's coming. It's coming closer, Nami shrieked. Okay, I don't think a snake in its right mind would do that. It would just do the rattle thing, and then once you ran away, it wouldn't follow you. Like, this seems a little unrealistic, and I mean, I've had, like, a situation before in the past where a rattlesnake has been nearby when I went out hiking in the Shenandoah Mountains forever ago. Like, you literally just wait till the snake leaves, because it's not gonna go after you unless you approach it. So, this seems a little unrealistic, but maybe the snake is just angry. I decided to break the window on the right side of the entrance. I slammed my body against the door as hard as I could. Let's break the window. I hit the window with my fist as hard as I could to break it. You're coming too, Nami. I pushed my way through the broken window and pulled Nami inside. Phew. We're safe for now, huh? Oh, you're bleeding. Nami grabbed my hand. Of course you're bleeding. You just punched a window. My left hand had been scratched and it was bleeding. Oh, it'll be fine. Just a scratch. I sucked at the wound. Don't do that. You'll need to get it properly treated. Nami took out a handkerchief from her pocket and wrapped it around my hand. It smelled faintly of roses. This is all I can do for you for now, but I'll tend to it later. Thanks. I felt a bit bashful. But anyway, the lock's useless now, huh? Whoever owns this place will probably give us an earful once they find out. Well, we'll just have to apologize to them ahead of time then. I stood up and looked around. It was a spacious entrance. It's clearly a ref. It's clearly a. Oh no, yeah, it's a weird. I just the snake situation just seems a little odd in my opinion. Like, I don't think a snake would actively go after someone like that. In my personal opinion, just as someone who's had to deal with a rattlesnake before, like, they're pretty territorial. Like, if you don't approach them after they do the rattle, 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 then you're fine. I don't know. Maybe it's just a cheesy writing technique. Okay. It was a spacious entrance. There was a hall with stairs leading up to the second floor, and a large chandelier hung from the ceiling. On the left side, there was a large brick fireplace with a cloth-covered sofa set in front of it. Is anyone home? I raised my voice and walked further inside. We've just let ourselves in. Nami also shouted out, but nobody replied. Maybe nobody's home. Yeah. Well, whatever. Let's sit down for a while. I'm exhausted. I walked over to the sofa. I saw there was a suit of Western-style armor that had been placed beside the fireplace. I'd seen suits of armor on TV and photographs, but this is the first time I had ever seen one in person. People fighting in the Middle Ages actually wore those things. It occurred to me how heavy it must have been for those people to wear them. Hey, what's up with that? Nami tapped my shoulder. What's up with what? That. There. Nami pointed over to the right side of the entrance hall. A large aquarium had been placed up against the wall. There wasn't anything particularly unique about the shape of it. It was just an ordinary looking glass aquarium you'd find anywhere set in a silver-colored frame. Problem was the size. It was abnormally large. You'd think there's something inside. I went over to the aquarium. The inside of the glass was covered with mildew, and the water was really dirty. Even if something was in there, you wouldn't be able to see what it was. Okay, I reached over the top and tried to stick my hand in. I thought about taking a peek from above. Okay, don't stick your hand into a dirty aquarium, especially considering you have cuts on your hand. Let's see that I thought about peeking from above. Thinking I could take a peek from above, I moved over a small sofa that was in front of the fireplace. Standing on the sofa and looking down, I could see a black mass within the dark water. I couldn't tell if it was a creature, some kind of boulder, or maybe algae. I didn't have any idea. Well, do you see anything in there? No, nothing. At that moment, the black clump moved a little. Something that looked like a ping pong ball floated up from the top. Ugh! I looked away. It smelled like rotten fish, and the stench made me feel nauseous. I held my breath as I looked down once more, but I couldn't see anything had changed. What could that have been? My dude has a word. What could have... My dude has no awareness. He's just like, I'm gonna stick my hand. Oh, God. I feel like this is, like... I don't want to say stupid, but, like, dude, you don't stick your hand into that. This is why I didn't pick the hand sticking option. What could have that been? And then, it came from the second floor. Someone's got to be here then. Let's go see. I walked up the stairs at the entrance. Hey, huh? Even though we'd come so far as to walk up the staircase, Nami was whispering to me. What should we say if we meet whoever lives here? Well, be honest with them. Tell them we had an accident on the road. What else are we supposed to say to the... Huh? What's the matter? Wasn't there a suit of armor over there? I pointed to the side of the fireplace. Yeah. Oh. The suit of armor had vanished. Okay, this is, again, Scooby-Doo level. The Scooby-Doo level is high, is pretty high. Like, there was an episode of Scooby-Doo where they were in a like, I feel like there's several episodes where they go to a mansion after their car breaks down. And, like, I vividly remember one where it's, like, there was gold buried in the well or something. And this is reminding me of that so much. Well, whatever. Let's go and check out that sound anyway. At the top of the stairs, the corridor went to the left and to the right. I think the sound came from this way. We walked down the hallway to the right. Which room could it be? Shh. I can hear it again. This is it. Knock, knock. There's no reply. Are they not here? I opened the door without hesitation. It was dark inside. It didn't seem like anyone was there. There was a wooden table in the corner to the left with an electrical light stand on it, which glowed with a red light. I saw another table, a smaller one beside it. It had a checkered cloth on the top of it and a single book. I stepped inside of the room. Whoa. The door suddenly slammed shut behind me. Okay, I did just jump a little bit, like, in my chair when I heard the sound. It was a little scary. A little spooky. Just a small spook. I panicked. I turned the doorknob. Still, I paid it no mind and walked over to check out the book on the table. Nami, look at the door. I yelled. Look at the door. Like, we can look over the book later. Nami, look at the door, I yelled. It's okay. It's open. I could hear a sound coming from inside the room. Huh? Is someone in there? Something strange happened. The table with the book set upon it was moving closer to me. Or so I thought. Turns out it was a wheelchair. The person on the wheelchair had a book on their lap, and I had mistaken for a table. I couldn't see the face of the person sitting in the wheelchair because they were lit from behind. Oh, sorry for coming in uninvited. We did knock first, but I bowed down to the person in the wheelchair and their legs caught my eye. They were so thin, I felt they might shatter into pieces after a mere touch. I raised my head back up. Oh, sweet Jesus! There was a brown skin, silken eyes, and sat a mummy. Oh god, no, 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 no. That scared me. That was scary. I don't like this. This is scary. Oh god, I don't like this. This is a. That's no, 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 no. Scary. I don't like this. The light from the stand cut out and the room went totally dark. Did the wheelchair just move? Whoa, 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 whoa. I stepped backwards. Ah! Nami tugged at my clothes. The squeaking of the wheelchair was coming closer and closer. My hands trembled and I wasn't able to open the door. Hurry! Hurry up and open it! We practically fell over ourselves to escape into the hallway. But they oh god, but it was pitch black outside of the room, too. I couldn't tell left from right. Nami, where is my flashlight? How could I know? Can't remember. Hey, was there anything else that could be used as a light source? We could search for my flashlight for starters. We could maybe use the lighter in my pocket. Let's do the lighter in the pocket. Maybe I could use the lighter in my pocket. I caught a glimpse of the staircase just a short distance away. There. We headed downstairs in a panic. The flashlight had been dropped right in front of the aquarium. Ow, ow, it's hot. I couldn't hold on to the lighter anymore. I let go of it completely and fumbled around with my hands until I picked up the flashlight. I turned it on and pointed at the second floor. I could see a hazy circle of light illuminate the second floor passage. Oh god. That was scary. Like, that was so scary. That was a spook. That was a spook. I also should save, just... There was no trace of the mummy. I can't... My legs... Nami collapsed to the ground helplessly. I sat down beside her. I couldn't believe it, though. A mummy? Here in modern-day Japan? It's more likely than you think. Were we just seeing things? I didn't want to scare Nami, so I decided to go check out the mummy by myself. I was scared, so I asked Nami to go and check. But no, we're gonna man up and check it ourselves. I didn't want to scare Nami, so I decided to go check out the mummy by myself. Where are you going? Nami called out to me from behind. I'm going to go and find out whether or not that mummy was real. Who cares if it was real? Let's just stop. Nami was terrified. But I'm curious. And Nami, you're scared too. We need to find out the truth. We just might have mistaken it for something. It wasn't. That's true, but still. I'll be right back. I walked over to the staircase. Wait! Don't leave me alone in here. I'll go too. We returned to the door of the room we had entered before. The door had been left open. I timidly took a peek inside, but I only saw the electronic stand on the ground. There was no trace of the mummy. How strange. Ooh! Ah, it's on. The light was back on. The small stand was lit again, as well as the chandelier in the hallway. Oh, a kitty cat. Oh, a cat. A black cat had come out from under the table. Here, kitty kitty. Nami crouched down and picked it up. How strange. I look around the room. Were we just seeing things? You saw it too, Nami, right? She didn't reply. She was entirely focused on the cat. I picked up the book, which had fallen on the ground. I opened it up. It was a diary. The entry I saw was dated 6 years ago. While flipping through the pages, I suddenly found a page that was bright red. It's blood. Huh? There was nothing written on the page, and a hypercilium had been stuck there as a bookmark. It was covered in a blackish red liquid, and it's still fresh. Upon seeing the diary, Nami started to look a little green. I muttered to myself, could this be the mummy's blood? We shouldn't be looking at someone else's diary. I closed it right away. I'm gonna do it the privacy, because this isn't our. We shouldn't be looking at someone else's diary. Close it right away. Something must have happened here. Let's leave. We headed out into the hallway. The suit of armor. Oh no! This is. I keep doing the wrong toggle. This is not. I. I. This is a spook. The suit of armor that had disappeared earlier was now standing in our way. Run, I shouted as I ran. Stay with me. I felt Nami growing impatient with me as we ran. Let's do that one. Stay with me. I felt Nami growing impatient with me as we ran. I'm easily affected by the people I'm with, so I found myself in a race with Nami. We finally made it to the entrance. The door is gone! That huge door from before was missing. In its place was just a wall. What's going on here? There used to be a door here, right? Maybe we were mistaken. Maybe we got a little hasty and just happened to enter a room that only looked like the entrance hall. We might be in an entirely different area of the mansion. The mansion was huge, so it wasn't out of the question. Anyway, we've got to get out of here now. The window! The window! Oh, we just stood there, powerless. It was like the mansion could read our minds. Every single window had been closed up and shuttered. It's like the mansion ate us alive. That's when I said, I'm not gonna let myself be eaten so easily. Don't say that, you're scaring me. I'm not gonna let myself be eaten so easily. I was ready to take the offensive. Time to start exploring. Exploring? The mansion doesn't want us to leave, apparently. We might as well check the place out. I'm gonna examine every single nook and cranny, even if I don't want to. You look cooler when you're angry, Sachu. Why even bother telling me that? It's not like I can be angry 24/7. Okay, this is like it's pretty spook. Over there was light peeking out from behind the gaps of the wall that Nami was pointing at. Someone's got to be in there this time. I placed my hand on the doorknob. Wait. Nami politely knocked on the door, but there wasn't any response. Are they out, I wonder? Well, I'm opening it up anyway. I pulled the door open. Whoa. Are those like will-o-wisps? I was taken aback by what I saw. It was a gathering of fiery souls. Okay, so it is will-o-wisp. That's interesting. My response was, let's get out of here. It's just some burning phosphorus that's... What is the phosphorus coming from, though? But whatever. It's just some burning phosphorus, that's all. Huh? Really? Yeah, really. I know my stuff when it comes to science. Despite saying that, I trembled as I opened the next door. It's the kitty cat. What's the big deal? It's a cat. Yeah, it is a cat, but the cat's eyes glowed in the darkness, floating through the air, even higher up than our own eyes. Turn the lights on. Nami looked around for the light switch and flipped the lights on. Oh, that's a bat. Whoa. The cat turned into a bat. Nami was scared. Then I said, no way, both a bat and a cat were there. That's all they're... Okay, the bat can't carry the cat. God, let's just... No way, both a bat and a cat were there. That's all there is to it. Yeah, that's got to be it. We returned to the entrance hall. We were shocked at what we found, huh? There was a phone there. But who was phone? There was an old black phone there where the suit of armor used to be. We stared at the phone as it continued to ring. What should we do? I don't think we should just leave it unanswered, right? But, okay. I pulled the phone over to me. Sachu, Nami shouted. She lifted up the cord. The tip of it was melting and turning into smoke that drifted up into the air. It's still ringing. I thought it must be some sort of trick phone. I couldn't hold my hand back and reached it. Thought the ringing sounded like someone's. Okay, we're gonna pick up the phone. Couldn't. Who was phone? I couldn't hold my hand back. It reached for the receiver on its own. The phone seemed to have a connection, but I couldn't hear anything. Hello? 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 Suddenly, cold white air came pouring out of it. Whoa! Did it just rip off my ear? I dropped the phone without thinking, and the icy air kept pouring out. Do I still have an ear? You do. What does it look like? It's purple. The phone had stopped spraying cold air, but it was not before it had frozen the whole carpet. It was ridiculously cold. Don't touch it. It'll only make the frostbite worse. I wouldn't dare. I don't even wear glasses because I always end up snapping them in half. Nami used a handkerchief to do a quick emergency treatment. But man, I never experienced the phone to be rigged up like that. It made me feel incredibly angry. Maybe it was some sort of booby trap for any would-be robbers. Or a direct line to a snow lady. As if. What? My nerves were shot. It's coming from the second floor. Alright, let's go check it out. I pulled Nami. Let's do A. Alright, let's go check it out. I pulled Nami along by the hand. Here it is. It was the third door on the left on the second floor. I'm gonna open it. Okay. After opening the door and going inside, I found an ordinary-looking guest room with something gleaming on the table. It's a knife! What do you got there? A knife! I don't think this is gonna end well. It had several flowers twisted around it, hyperciliums. It felt like I had just been struck with misfortune. What's wrong? I remember something unpleasant. What? The meaning of the hypercilium flowers. It's revenge. So then, this place is the mansion of revenge? Huh? The tip of the knife's blade gleamed. Throw that knife away. Nami shouted. I opened up the window and threw the knife out as far as I could into the darkness of the night. When I threw the knife out, I don't know why, but I thought to myself, I'm not going to let myself get warped in someone else's revenge. I got worried about Nami and turned to look at her. Let's do the first one. I don't know why, but I thought to myself, I'm not going to let myself get wrapped up in someone else's revenge. We checked out the second floor just to be on the safe side. Aside from the door we couldn't open with the straw nails nailed to the door, we hadn't found any trace of anyone in the house, including in the mummy's room. Okay, straw doll nailed to the door. Oh, that's a red flag. So there's nobody on the second floor now, right? Nami nodded. At the very least, we can say that we couldn't find any people, the mummy or the suit of armor. I decided not to dwell on that. Alright, we should try to get the seemingly unopenable door open. I started to examine the door. Hey, let's head back down, Nami said, out of the blue. Huh? I'm hungry. You are too, aren't you, Sachu? We really do need to get something to eat, you know. I looked at Nami's face, my mind a blank. Nami's not acting like herself. She wouldn't just go and take food from a stranger's kitchen. Was she saying this because she was afraid, or was it something else? Hey, Nami. What did I tell you? Nami laughed. I know you're hungry by the look on your face. No, I wouldn't say that. But my stomach was weak to the power of persuasion, and it responded appropriately. I'll go ahead, she said as she turned her back to me. Wait up. Hey, don't get a head start on me like that. I figured I'll go along with Nami for the time being. As I headed with Nami to the dining room, I thought they'd have something good to eat for sure. I hoped that they'd have something good to eat, and I'd force myself to believe they did. Let's just do the second one. I hope they have something good to eat, and I forced myself to believe they did. We set our eyes on the large refrigerator just beyond the dining room. I carefully tried opening it up. Whoa, Nami sounded happy. There was raw fish inside. We found 2 sweet fish on a large platter. Maybe they caught these in the nearby river. Seems like these were just caught, but maybe we should find the people who own this place before we eat their stuff. We can just blame it on the cat if need be. I'll have to try meowing like a cat while I eat it in that case. These actually taste better if you grill them right beside the river, though. We have to settle for the oven. I'll handle the cooking. Nami took out the plate. Whoa, what's this? Nami screamed, and the plate fell from her hands. Huh? What? The 2 fish that had fallen on the floor were all dried up. Were they dried from the start? Yeah. Up until now, they looked like they were freshly caught, though. These fish, so brown and dried out. Seeing them reminded me of the mummy. Now that I think about it, dried fish are kind of like fish mummies. I'm sorry, they're kind of like fish mummies. It's so stupid. I'm starting to question the intelligence of our main character. Like, I really am. This dude seems... it's so stupid. Now that I think about it, dried fish kind of look like fish mummies, huh? What's wrong? That look on your face is scaring me. That just now. I looked around. Did you hear that? Hear what? It sounded like a woman shrieking. I didn't hear anything. You didn't just imagine it, did you? No, I'm sure I heard it for real. It came from over there. I approached the window. It was too dark to see outside, but I had a bad feeling about what it might be. Wait, I'll go and take a quick look. I stepped away from the window and headed for the exit. Hold on. What are you doing? Something might have happened, and I'm curious to find out. Wait for me, I'm going too. We left the dining room. Hey, hand me your lighter for a second. Yeah, this game is kind of wild. Like, I'm going into this with not knowing much outside of that. This is like what launched the sound novel genre itself, and that this is a very important game for that, and that the production value for an SNES game is very high notch. But this is seeming like a bad episode of Scooby-Doo, and I'm all for it. It is pretty... I'm having fun. I'm gonna open up a can of soda right now, so sorry if you hear that. But I'm drinking some Baja Blast, because I can. Okay. Let's keep going. What are you doing? Nami was holding a candlestick. Where did you find the candlestick? Where did you pick that up? Are you just picking up random shit now, Nami? It was from the dining room table. I felt a little uneasy about not having a light of my own. Thanks. Here, you can have your lighter back. Nami held the now lit candlestick, and I gripped my flashlight as we walked slowly down the hall. Hey, did you really hear someone? I could see doubt in Nami's eyes as she looked at me. Yeah, it sounded like, hey. It was a long, mournful cry. Creepy. Nami frowned her bow. But why would there be shrieking like that? Could it be a burglar? A burglar? It's certainly possible. It would explain why the lights are even on when the owner isn't home. The hallway veered to the left and continued to the back of the mansion, but the hallway there was tight, and the ceiling was getting lower too. And what's more, it felt strangely gloomy there. It was like we'd veered off of the main road into some back alley. My flashlight lit up a small iron door just ahead. It came from behind that door. There's something creepy about this door, don't you think? Almost like they're conducting some sort of secret experiments in there. It was just like Nami said. The door had been painted clumsily, and almost all of that paint had fallen out, leaving the metal door entirely red with rust. I wonder if it's open. I put my hand on the doorknob. Oh, I have a bad feeling about this. I have a bad feeling. There's that voice. You heard it this time, didn't you? It's the same voice as before. Nami stared wide-eyed at me and shook her head in denial. We're going in. I hurled the door open. I got stuck in the face by a blast of wind and water. It was the back door, huh? Can't see anything out here. Oh, that's kind of anticlimactic. When I shined my flashlight outside, something to the right reflected the light. It's a greenhouse. Was the shrieking coming from in here? Oh, I could hear Nami shout behind me. What happened? The flame went out. Nami held the candlestick in her hand, looking at me reapproachingly. Well, of course it would, and we're going out in the rain, so what should I do with it? We can't use it out here or there, so just leave it in here. Set the candlestick at my feet and tugged at Nami's hand. All right, let's go. Hand in hand, we trudged through the mud. Our clothes, which had just started to dry, were soaking wet almost instantly, and our shoes became heavy from all the mud. Do you really think someone's in there? Nami asked me quietly. I doubt it. What? So we came out here for no reason? I mean, not anyone who's alive, anyway. No way. The expression on Nami's face changed instantly. If anyone was in there, they would have seen us shining a flashlight at them. There wasn't any response, so that would mean that they would have already have to be. Why do you always have to scare me saying stuff like that? Nami looked at it like she was about to cry. We looked through the glass and saw that it was totally dark in there. I shined the flashlight inside. Oh, Nami and I both shouted at the same time. There they are again. There were hypercillium flowers inside. Small yellow flowers were mixed in with all of the other ornamental plants. A greenhouse of revenge, Nami said in a whisper. Don't say it like that. It's creeping me out. What? Look who's talking. We cautiously shined the light in as we walked around the greenhouse, but we made it to the other side without encountering anything out of the ordinary. No one was there, and after all, considered going back to the mansion. Should we go inside the greenhouse too? You know, if we're out here, we might as well go to the greenhouse. What's the worst that can happen? Should we go inside the greenhouse too? I turned and faced the entrance. We've seen enough, haven't we? Well, you know. And at that moment... Huh? Oh. I don't... This is... starting... What? When I shined the light at the greenhouse door, I saw it swaying in the wind. I looked over at Nami's face. Her mouth was agape, and she looked at me out of the corner of her eyes. Uh-oh. Alright, I'll race you to the door. Then I broke into a run. What gives? That shrieking was just the sound of the door. Nami shouted as if it was to scold me. This is a race, you know. You better get moving. I paid her no mind and kept running. Wait up. Ah! When I looked back, I saw that she had fallen right on her butt in the mud. You made me fall, you jerk. I started laughing just as I reached the door. Wait, it's too dark. I can't see anything. At the entrance, I turned around and shined the light over towards Nami so she could see. The corner of the light hit the door, and the second I saw it, my smile froze up. Ugh, you made it here first. Nami came over, looked at me, and said, You've got that scary expression on your face again, and you're not fooling me this time. I gestured my head towards the glass door. You can be so dumb, you know, she said, and then she looked over. Oh, God. Oh, God. There was it, written on the glass door in big red letters. Nami. The light that reflected off the glass illuminated us as we stood there looking at it in the rain. It's got to be a coincidence, I said, but I knew deep down inside that a voice had drawn me here. Even if it was actually a coincidence, why would her name be written there? Okay, this is a little spook. You guys should run away. You guys really should run away. Nami looked pale as she stood there in the rain, dumbfounded. She said nothing, her eyes transfixed upon the glass as it swayed back and forth. The door creaked again as the wind blew it. Let's go back, I said, making it a point to sound cheerful, but Nami didn't respond at all. Let's go. I tugged at Nami's hand firmly. She didn't budge. Why? How? You're just overthinking it. Am I? It had to be a coincidence. It had nuts to me. This is the first time we've ever been here, for one. So someone who was here had the same name as you. So what? And yeah, sure. Weird for someone to write their name in a place like this, but if we asked whoever lives here, they'd probably have some funny story about it. I'm sure they would. I talked loudly without pausing, trying to shout away the fear I felt inside. Yeah, Nami said quietly as she nodded. We'll catch a cold if we stay out in the rain like this. Let's head back. I pulled Nami away and we kept walking. Okay, that was a little little creepy, little scary, little weird. I mean, that's not a coincidence. That's a someone clearly wrote your name in blood situation. I don't like that. That's a oh god, that's not good. No, 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 no. Okay. After we returned to the mansion, Nami looked gloomy. I felt sorry for her. Why did she have to see that? It was all my fault. How could I make her feel better? Oh, that's it. Hey, I said to her, cheerfully. What? Feel like using their shower? What? Nami looked at me, stunned. You're covered in mud, after all. But it's fine, it's fine. I think they might have one over that way. I went on ahead. Turning right down the hallway, I reached a frosted glass door. This is it. I grabbed the handle. It was totally dark inside. I shined a flashlight in, and just as I thought, it was a bathroom. There was a white sink and a large mirror on the left. On the other side was a Western-style toilet next to a sliding glass door. The shower was probably on the other side of that door. All right, let's start by washing our hands, huh? I went over to the sink. You can wash your hands first, Nami. I let Nami go before me. Let's do the... Alright, let's start by washing our hands, huh? I went over to the sink. The sink had a long, curved faucet. For some reason, maybe due to the seal on the faucet getting old, water continued to drip from it constantly. I turned the faucet on. The white sink suddenly became stained red. It's blood! I'm sorry, what? There's blood? Sweet Jesus. Nami clung to my shoulder. No, it's not. It's rust. It's just rust. The red water started to clear up. The pipes have got to be getting old. Okay, it's not that. Okay. Hey, it's already better. I rinsed my hands in the running water. Nami seemed to be getting edgy. I wanted to help her the best. Help her get back to the way she was before. Hey, there isn't any soap in here, is there? You must want soap. Yeah, Nami. Oh, I'm fine with just water. There was something odd about her modest reply. Nami was normally the type who would insist on using soap. Maybe we should check the bath. I cast my gaze towards the sliding glass door. Even if you don't want any soap, I do. Let's do A. Maybe we should check the bath. I cast my eyes through the sliding glass door there. Oh, I'll go take a look. Nami entered the shower room. I'll search over there, okay? I opened the cabinet beside the mirror. It was dusty, and I thought it had been used in a long time. There was a toothbrush with yellow bristles and a tube of toothpaste that was sealed despite being totally flat and empty. A woman's razor was there too, but it looked like it hadn't been used in a long time. It was rusty and had small bits of hair stuck to it. I was grossed out by it, and I closed the cabinet. I glanced at the mirror and saw Nami's face there. I looked at Nami's face in the mirror as I asked her, "Did you find any soap?" "No." Nami's voice echoed from the shower. "Oh." "Huh?" I turned around, surprised. What's wrong?" "What's that weird look for?" Nami said as she came out of the shower room. "Nami, you were in there the whole time, right?" Oh, God. I'm not liking this. "Yeah, why?" There's no way I could have seen her reflection in the mirror while she was in the shower room. Did something happen? Nami's expression darkened. I wouldn't say that exactly. My answer was intentionally vague. I didn't want to scare her any more than she already was. Plus, it's possible that she might have just been seeing things. Yeah, so how about that soap? I smiled and returned to the topic at hand. So how about that weather there, huh? I feel like that's such an awkward, like. So about that soap. Okay. It's so stupid. There wasn't any. How about here then? I squatted down and opened the doors under the sink. Ugh. A very unpleasant, rotten, and musty odor drifted from inside. I held my breath and looked in. An S-shaped pipe ran down the center, and on the right side of it were cleaning fluids, pesticides, shampoo bottles, and plastic bags strewn about like junk. If it was the water from the old pipes that mixed together with dust and chemicals that spilled out of the fallen bottles, it made me want to throw up. Would they really keep soap in a place like this? I don't think so. I took out a big plastic box that I found on the left side of the pipe. Inside of it was a wooden box with a cross on it. Okay, that's creepy. Who keeps a wooden box with a cross on it in your weird junk drawer underneath your sink? This must be a medicine box, yeah. There's something underneath it. Hold the medicine box up, Nami. Nami grabbed the handle of the medicine box and lifted it up. The moment she did, 4 bugs with black, greasy-looking wings crawled out from under the box. Ew! Cockroaches! Ew! Ah, cockroaches! Nami screamed and hurled the medicine box onto the floor. When the box hit the floor, the lid flew open, scattering some medicine bottles and packed across the floor. The cockroaches vanished in an instant into the corners of the room, and under the door they were gone. Ah, the medicine scattered everywhere. I laughed as I rushed to stop the rolling bottles of medicine. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that. Oh, I'll pick it up. Nami kneeled down and started putting all the medicine back in its place. Hey, there weren't any more of them there, right? The cockroaches, I mean. I don't think there are. Hey, there it is. Soap. I stood up and turned on the faucet. Nami was still picking up the medicine that had scattered everywhere. Go ahead and wash your hands first now that we found the soap. Okay, it sounded like a half-hearted reply. It wouldn't be good to touch medicine with dirty hands after all. True. Nami stood next to me and started washing her hands. As we washed the mud from her hands and arms, I watched the dirty black water spiraling down, getting swallowed up by the drain. Hey, Sachu, what? Something occurred to me when I was putting the medicine back. There were a lot of unfamiliar types of medicine in there. Unfamiliar? I'd never seen them before. Show me. I was a little interested. There's got to be many medicines, as there were illnesses. I said I was trying. Show me. Show me. I was a little interested. Hold on a second, okay? Nami plucked up different kinds of medicine. See for yourself. Took one of them, a tube of some sort of medicine, and read the label. Chloramycin, formulated fibrinolizin. What's that? I opened the cap and squeezed the Why would you do that? Do not. That's a random medicine. Do not take random medicine. You idiot. Random medicine is bad. Looks like it's some sort of anti-itch cream. It didn't have the distinct peppermint odor, though, and other than the hard-to-pronounce name on the label, nothing else was written on it. I read another tube's label. Vitamin E fortified sulfonamide. Nami suddenly looked shocked. Sulfonamide was used as a deflorant during the Vietnam War. A defoliant? Why would they have a vitamin E fortified defoliant? The label stated that it was used for... No, it looks like it was used to treat burns. Let's check out some of the other medicines, too. I was getting curious. Topical collagen, heparin, solacosi... I'm not good at medical pronunciations. These are all keloid drugs. To be clear, I wasn't familiar with any of this beforehand. It was just written on the labels. Nami picked up one of the medicines on the floor and popped off the lid. Hey, look, it's weird. It's a weird color. plastic container was simple and round and contained purple gel capsules. I've never seen medicine this color before, but again, I guess I haven't really seen any of this sort of medicine before either. Right? Nami gave me a smile I could only describe as triumphant. But there sure are a lot of cream type medicines here, aren't there? They all seem to be treatments for burns. Did someone who lives here get burned? It wouldn't explain why there are so many varieties, though. Well, whatever. Now that this is all cleaned up, let's take a shower already. Oh, wait a minute. There's still one more on the floor over there. A small and brown glass bottle had rolled on the floor. Its cap was open. It's empty, yeah? No, there's something light yellow in there. Could this be a cream, too? There was only a smattering of the goopy light yellow medicine in there. A handwritten label had been stuck on the bottle. The paper looked really old, worn, and discolored. Acenal tick. No, that's so hard to read because the label's all worn out. Acrylic oil? You know what this is? It's another kind of burn medication. How'd you know that? Nami looked surprised as if she thought it was a common knowledge. What do you mean, how? That sort of medicine has been around for so long. Are you sure about that? Maybe you're just getting the wrong idea like earlier when you thought it was a defoliant. I gave a mean-spirited laugh, and Nami snatched the bottle away from me and closed it up in the medicine box. If you don't believe me, then fine. I'm kidding. I believe you. I totally do. Anyway, it was really another burn medication after all. I stood up, tilting my head to the side, and I opened the glass door to go inside. The floor was covered in light blue tiles, and a Western-style bathtub was there. There were tiles on the wall, too, but they were all cracked and had black mildew growing all over them to the point where it was even hard to see the tiles. The shower was small, considering how big the mansion was. After getting out of the tub, there were really only enough room to dry yourself off. Maybe this is normal for a Western-style bathroom. We won't be able to take a shower together, will we? What? Did you say something? No, nothing at all. I'll be fine taking a shower alone. You heard what I said, huh? Nami stepped into the shower room. Hey, I wonder if this place has hot water. Turned the shower handle just a little. As I expected, the water came out red and cold. So I guess that's a no. I turned the handle even more, almost giving up on the idea. But no, after a while, the water cleared up as it started to warm up. I put my hand under the water. It's nice and warm. Is it? Nami reached out to touch it too. I mean, impulse kicked in, and I flipped the hot water off. Nami glared at me with just a little, and she retreated to the bathroom. Are you mad? She didn't reply. Back in the bathroom, she moved to take the towel hanging at the side. You're going to use their towel? What's the big deal? It's just to dry myself off with it after I'm clean. It's no different from drying your hands. She said curtly, walked past me, and proceeded to the shower. You're going to shower in your clothes? I'll take them off inside, obviously. Oh, okay. Alright, I'll go first. Nami shut the door. Oh, this door's tight. It won't shut all the way. The sliding door rattled around, not shutting as it should. What are you upset about? Who cares if it doesn't shut all the way? Just leave it like that. But when I can't lock it. She gave me a scared look. Don't peek, okay? I won't peek, you promised. If you peek, we're through. Yeah. In the end, she had to shower without locking the door. Though the frosted glass, I could see faintly see her hang up the towel and take off her clothes. I was glad Nami seemed like she was back to normal, and then a thought occurred to me. I tried not to look as I promised. Can I join you in there? I tried asking. I had made the promise by word of mouth. These hands played no role in it, so no, we're not looking. We're gonna honor the promise. I tried not to look as promised. Alright, we forgot our change of clothes. I'm gonna go get her stuff at the entrance. Be right back. I called out to Nami and left the sink. I picked up my bag inside and looked around the entrance hall. It was quiet. I looked at the clock there and saw that it pointed to just about 10 o'clock. All sorts of weird stuff has been happening here, but I think we'll be able to make it to morning somehow. There it was again. The sound of that armor. I looked at where the suit of armor should have been, and it was gone. The sound seemed to be coming from the bathroom. I returned. The sound seemed to be moving away from me, as if the armor had turned down the hall. I started running, but just as I approached the front of the bathroom, I suddenly heard Nami scream from inside. Ah! What's wrong, Nami? I opened the bathroom door in a panic. I came to the room at the exact same time that Nami had popped out of the shower. Nami's wet, white skin pierced my eyes. She was totally naked. She looked straight into my eyes. Nami squatted down. Get out! Get out! She had curled up and shouted as loud as she could. Sorry. I flew out into the hallway, turned around. Okay, sure. Nami noisily shut the glass door. Hey, are you okay? What happened? You know that wasn't on purpose, right? I was worried about you. It was true that I was worried about her, but it was also true that I felt lucky to see what I saw. Dude, you're a pervert. No, don't come in right now. Absolutely not. Her voice still had an edge to it. I tried to calm her down with a softer tone of voice. I know. I won't go in until you say it's okay. Are you sure? Are you alright, though? You said it was hot. You didn't get burned, did you? I'm fine. I got hit by a little hot water. Just hold on a second. What happened? The water got so hot all of a sudden. I tried to stop it, but it kept pouring out. And it's so cramped in here that there was nowhere to run. So I flew right out of the shower. It must have happened because this place is so run down. Are you okay? You didn't get burned, did you? I'm fine. I got out right away after all. Oh, I'll leave the clothes bag here. I set the bag in front of the glass door. The door opened slightly and Nami reached out for it. All good. Nami spoke up after staying silent for a while. There was a lot of steam drifting from inside. The lukewarm stream stuck to my skin. Nami had already finished changing and started drying her hair in front of the mirror. Her cheeks flushed, having come right out of the shower. Sorry about what happened earlier. Don't worry about it. It's fine. I peeked into the shower room. There was still a lot of steam, and the shower was still spraying out hot water. I reached out and touched it. Ow, ow, ow. It's boiling. I told you. You stayed a second longer, you would have been badly burned. Oh, right. Maybe that's why there was so much burn medication in there. A mini light bulb started flickering above my head. Oh. But it doesn't add up. Why would they only treat their wounds? Why wouldn't people generally fix the bath? Well, I can't talk about what goes on in a stranger's house. I'm just glad we were okay. What should we do, though? It's too hot to reach in there and turn off the shower. We can't just leave it running, either. Oh, that's it. I remembered seeing a big machine out back. Judging from where I saw it, I wondered if it might have been the boiler. I'll go take a quick look at the boiler room. There was a boiler room? I saw something that might have been. I'll go take a look. Will you be okay? I'll be fine. I'll be back before you know it, I said, and then I left the bathroom. That seems kind of sketch, I'm not gonna lie. Like, how do you suddenly know where that is? I should probably also do a save. Okay. It's a little sketch. Like, why do you, like, can't you just, why didn't you just wrap your hand in the towel and go in and turn it off? I feel like that would have made more sense, but, I guess I'll go into the boiler room. Interesting. I passed through the dark hallway and through the iron door, remembering the sound of the suit of armor. Could it be just beyond the door? I gulped and turned the doorknob. I opened the door as quickly as I could and jumped backwards. Nothing was there. Phew. The rain had almost entirely stopped. Guess I'd better get going, huh? I was about to step out when a hand grabbed me by the shoulder. Ah! It was Nami. What's the big deal? I shouted at her. Can you blame me? I was scared all by myself. She spoke to me in a sweet voice. Can I just ask you not to surprise me? You shaved 10 years off my lifespan just now. Oh, come on. Okay, I know. Should we go together? I'll get dirty again if I go back out, though. What do you expect me to do then? Don't get mad. Where is that boiler room anyway? You can see the light from the bathroom over there, right? It looks like there's a room leading down underneath it, so it's close, I guess. I'll stay here then. Just come back quickly. What? Weren't you just saying how close it is? Aren't you coming along? I don't want to get muddy again. After taking another look at Nami, I noticed she wasn't wearing any shoes. Oh, right. I see. I'll get going then. I headed down the concrete steps. Come back here if anything dangerous happens, okay? What kind of dangerous things do you think will happen? I walked along with my left hand touching the wall. As I walked, I heard the sound of the wet leaves I was jostling. Eventually, the wall suddenly opened up to reveal the entrance. I went down the dark staircase, shining my flashlight ahead. There, in the darkness, I saw a large and smooth silver machine, several metallic pipes coming out of the top and went right through the walls and ceilings. Personally, I would have left alone in the first place. Missing armor? Hell. This is like I keep saying it's like a Scooby-Doo episode, but the story beats are like a Scooby-Doo episode. It's like the armor going around is like, that alone would freak me out. Like, if you see a suit of armor and like it suddenly vanishes, I'm just gonna hightail it out of there, because armor is heavy. Someone wearing armor has to be extremely buff and agile. Like, they are not playing around. They would be able to take you down no problem. Like, at that point, I would not be like, oh, well, they're gonna be slowed down by the armor. I'm like, no. They have trained to wear the armor. They are going to kill me. I need to get the hell out. Just as I thought, it's the boiler. I've shined the flashlight to take a closer look at the device before me. It really is like an episode of Scooby-Doo. I know, I'm half expecting a dog to show up and be like, ruh-roh. What's up with this? The temperature needle was set to over 80 degrees Celsius. What's 80 degrees Celsius? Isn't that like boiling? I don't know what Celsius to Fahrenheit conversion is, but isn't that, it's like over 100 degrees Fahrenheit, I think. There, it says it's 176 degrees Fahrenheit. Even now, it was climbing higher. It was only just getting warmed up earlier. I'd hate to think what would happen to Nami if she'd been hit by the water now. I felt a chill run down my spine. Having found the temperature control knob, I found myself surprised once more. The dial had been set to a whopping 100 degrees Celsius, 212 Fahrenheit. Why is it set so high? Why is it set this high? And what's more, it was making a weird noise. Who knows? Maybe the boiler is just as old as the house itself. I turned the knob down about halfway to 40 degrees Celsius. Now we would just have to wait and see what happens. How did it go? Nami asked me when I made it back. I found out the problem there. The boiler's temperature was set to 100 degrees Celsius. What? Nami was stunned. You got out right away, so I'm guessing it was up to about 50 degrees at that time. You know what it was when I got to the boiler? 80 degrees. That would have killed you. I started talking a little faster as I headed back into the mansion. Why would anyone set it to 100 degrees? It'd be too hot to get in. Don't ask me. But it should be fine now. I set it back down to 40. It should be back to normal soon enough. I'll pass on another shower. It's too scary. And I got the mud off me already. Hey, it's your call. You already changed too, yeah? We returned to the bathroom. I wonder if the temperature really went down. I opened the shower sliding door. Whoa. At that moment, hot steam blasted out at me. The steam was white. It looked like it was just like a cloud, but the temperature of the shower water had already gone down. I reached out and turned it off. It's off now anyway. Glad that's settled. Nami chuckled. Hey, what time is it? I remembered seeing the clock earlier. I think it's just past 10. Huh? Weren't you wearing a watch, Nami? I guess I must have dropped it somewhere. I know I had it when we were in the dining room, though. Oh. Well, I hope you look for it, but, made it an effort to put on a weak expression. Sorry, but would you actually mind if I took a shower first? The steam made me really want to take a shower. I'll be out in 5 minutes, tops. The water's already warm, after all. It shouldn't be a problem. You don't need to explain yourself. Oh, right. Just wait a second first. Nami went into the shower and took her shorts and polo shirt and squeezed them out. That's what she was wearing earlier before the shower. There must be a problem with the pipes. The water isn't going down. I looked down. The level seemed to have dropped a bit, but the water didn't appear to be going down. Is something stuck in the pipes? I checked around to see if there was a plug and couldn't find anything. I peered through the gap in the drain all in the tub. Yuck. A black look. Oh God, no, 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 nobody, no, no, fuck, no, that's nasty. That is fucking nasty. Long black hair had clumped together and waved in the water like seaweed. It was too long to be Nami's hair. This must be what plugged it up. It creeped me out, making me think of a drowned body. I hesitated for a moment, closed my eyes, and plunged my right hand into the warm water. I could feel the long, thin hair tickle my hand and fingers. I forced myself not to pay attention to it and grabbed dozens of strands, and then I gave them a tug. I felt like part of it opened and some of the strands of hair having been ripped off. I pulled at it a good while, sometimes weakly, sometimes harder, and everything between. Eventually, the hair split into two clumps, and far more hair than I ever imagined plopped up from under the water. Oh God, this is so nasty. Oh God, so nasty. This is nasty. Like, this is one of the few things, like, that really is, to me, disgusting. Like, wet hair in your shower drain? That is the most disgusting thing in the world. Like, it's so nasty. It just makes me want to puke. The wet hair that I pulled up was all twisted together. It looked like some kind of wild animal. I gritted my teeth and left the room. Nami took a look at what I'd pulled out, covered her mouth with her hands, and looked away. I don't blame her. It was filthy and muddy. The word disgusting wasn't even enough to capture it. Yeah, it's not even this is not nasty. This is disgusting. This is fucking disgusting. Like, oh God, no. Deep. I need to take a sip of water. Oh God. It's a good thing I didn't eat lunch beforehand. I threw it all into a trash can just beside the sink and rolled out a ton of toilet paper that was hung on the wall to wipe all the hair off my arms. Maybe someone got a haircut recently, I said, playing dumb, trying to brush aside how creeped out I was. But it wasn't just a joke. It's hard to believe that much hair could clump together just from hair that fell out naturally. I washed my hands using water from the sink and more soap than I normally use. How does it look now? Is it still clogged? The water's starting to go down. Great. There might be still hair in there, but as long as it's good enough for me to take a shower, I'm okay with it. All I know is I never want to touch it again. Alright, I'm going in. I'll get out as soon as I can. Sorry if somebody comes back home in the meantime. Okay. Nami turned to the sink and started washing her own clothes. I forced the door to close, putting a little muscle into it, and heard it snap shut completely. Hey, it does shut after all. The water was hot, but it wouldn't be so hot that I couldn't get it in anymore. I slowly climbed into the tub. I splashed some warm water against my face and let out a big sigh. Felt like I had been brought back from the dead. The owner of this house might as well not come back at this point. We could get some rest and be out of here in the morning. I felt better, and so did my thoughts. Though, what was I thinking? It was pretty selfish. It wouldn't be that easy, though, will it? I twisted the handle to turn on the shower. The water wasn't ridiculously hot anymore. It felt nice. I had been careless, though. I'd forgotten the soap and a towel. I rubbed the mud off my feet. Using my hands, the mud turned the water dark. That was a Western-style bath for you. I could say whatever I wanted using someone else's bath. I liked how it made me feel. Okay, it's about time I got out, huh? I said extra loud so Nami would be able to hear, but there was no reaction in the other room. I knocked on the door. I'm coming out. No response. Weird. Did she go somewhere? Oh, I know. She's hiding so she can surprise me. With that in mind, I put my hand on the door and said, I know you're there. But the door wouldn't open. It opened wide enough for me to maybe get a finger through, but it snapped shut again. Come on, I know you're just screwing around with me. Open up. Convinced that Nami was holding the door shut, I rattled the door, tapped it, and pulled it, but it really did start to seem like Nami wasn't even there. It must be because I forced the door shut. I tried lifting the door and pushing it in all sorts of different directions, but no matter what I did, the door would only rattle. It showed no sign of opening. Suddenly, hot water from the shower I knew I'd turned off came back on. I tested the handle and confirmed that it had been completely turned off. You've got to be kidding me. I had a bad feeling about this. Nami, open the door. Oh god, I don't. No, please no. Oh god, I already know where this is going. I already know where this is going. I don't like this. Nami. I shouted out as loud as I could, but there was no response. I looked down and saw a metal bar about the size of a stick of chewing gum had been wedged into the rail of the sliding door. What's this? It had been put there to prevent the door from opening. Clearly, this thing was the reason why I couldn't open the door. I tried to remove it, but only ended up hurting my thumb. It was no good. What am I supposed to do now? I checked the window, but it was too small. I wouldn't be able to fit through it. My bad promotion turned out to be spot on. The hot water pouring out of the shower was getting hotter, and the white steam was getting thicker. It started getting hard to breathe, and I couldn't take it anymore. I got out by breaking through the glass. Wait a minute. As I was changing my clothes, a scary sort of vision came to me. The temperature went up slowly this time, so it was fine. But what if the door had completely shut on Nami? Fortunately, she wasn't strong enough to shut the door all the way, but what if I had gone in before her? I started to get worried about Nami. It's possible she went looking for a watch. I headed to the dining room. She's sleeping on the sofa. She probably went to go to the watch. It's possible she went looking for a watch. I headed down to the dining room, but Nami wasn't there. I went inside just in case and even looked around the kitchen further in, but I expected she wasn't there. Or could she have gone? I saw a flash of white clothing in the hallway. In a panic, I turned and faced the door, but all I saw was a hem of a white dress. Who was there? I ran off in pursuit as fast as I could. Still, there wasn't any trace of anyone in the hallway. Weird. Nami would never wear anything like that. Without anywhere else to go, I wound up back at the entrance. I could hear someone talking from the second floor. I listened hard, but then I suddenly couldn't hear anything. That's odd. I'm pretty sure I heard someone just now. I quietly headed up to the second floor. At the top of the stairs, I could hear someone talking again from the other side of the hallway. As I got closer, the voices became increasingly clear. It seemed to be a conversation between a young man and a young woman. Did whoever owns the house come back? The voices sound cheerful. I wondered if all this creepy stuff that went on was just some sort of misunderstanding. If that were true, then how would we ever be able to explain to them everything we've been doing here? I felt conflicted as I stepped towards the room before me. I figured I should start with an apology. I lifted my arm about to knock on the door, but the conversation was suddenly cut short. The door opened slightly. Did they notice I was here? I froze up and waited for them to appear. A white hand appeared from the gap in the hole. A girl's hand. I spoke without thinking. The person inside suddenly drew back. She also seemed to be at a loss for words, but in the next instant she was suddenly apologizing. I'm sorry, It was Nami's voice. What? Nami? Sachu? I opened the door fully and saw Nami standing there. You've got to be kidding me. What? The tension I was feeling was gone. What were you doing? I thought the owners of this house had come back. I did too. Don't surprise me like that. Why'd you even come to a place like this? I was so worried when you weren't there after I got out of the shower. You don't understand. I just listened. Nami's eyes started to sparkle like she was about to tell me some sort of grand adventure. I went looking for my watch and I heard talking. I figured the owners of the house came back. Same here. That's why I came up here. And then the thing is... Nami laughed and slapped my shoulder. It's so weird. Just listen, okay? I'm listening. What do you think it was? Who knows? Exactly, so listen. I already told you, I'm listening. She was starting to irritate me. I nervously knocked on the door. They didn't respond, though. They just kept talking, and I opened the door, and then, don't laugh. Just hurry up and tell me. Nobody was there, so what do you think it might have been? Stop screwing around with me, alright? I'm worried here. I raised my voice at her. Sorry, Nami cut her sentence short and changed her posture as if she was about to announce some very important news. It was a radio. A radio? See? Right there. Nami points to a black radio in the middle of the room. Right. Well, then why didn't you come back down afterwards? I was worried. Yeah, about that. Nami looked on top of the dresser. There were two Western-style dolls that had been placed there. I don't like this. This seems... This is another instance of this... It's haunted dolls. It's fucking haunted dolls. I hate this. I hate this. I hate it a lot. It's haunted dolls. Fucking haunted dolls. Both of the dolls were wearing the exact same outfit and red cloth jumper skirt. I feel like I've seen these dolls somewhere before. These dolls. I picked them up. Let me have them. Nami took them very delicately with both hands and pressed both of them against her cheeks. Huh? Nami looked so relaxed. It was a face I'd never seen her make before. Oh, God. This is stressing me out. Like... Are you okay? These dolls feel familiar somehow. They make me feel like a kid again. They just look like dolls to me, but I guess it's because I'm a guy. No, I wouldn't say that. These are special. Nami closed her eyes, lost in the moment. I'll never understand women. Well, anyway, I saw someone kind of like a doll earlier. I'm guessing she's the owner of this house? Yeah. I think it was a lady in a white dress. Nami looked at me. She seemed as though she was still dreaming. It concerns me a little, so I'd like to go back down and check everything out. I turned to leave. Okay. Nami reached out and placed the dolls back, like she was handling some great treasure. As she left the room, she waved sadly at the dolls. Bye-bye. Oh God, creepy dolls. No. I hate creepy dolls. I hate creepy dolls. Creepy dolls freak me out. Do not like this. Do not like this one bit. Alright, let's continue our search, shall we? Yeah. Nami still seemed a little out of it as we headed downstairs. This door seems suspicious. It was the door at the front of the entrance hall. Maybe the lady in the white dress went through it earlier. I opened the door. It continued deeper into a long, dark room. It's like a tunnel, huh? There were candlesticks lined up against the bare stone wall. I turned on my flashlight. There was a door in the back. If we opened that door... Nami started mumbling. Yeah, we'll be back in the entrance hall again. Like we went back in time, huh? This hallway is a tunnel that goes back into the past. She said with a serious look on her face, "You're not making any sense." I paid her no mind and continued along. The door was a slated shutter type. I could feel the wind outside blowing against the gap. The floor right in front of the door was soaking wet. Once we open this, we'll be back in the entrance hall, right? I opened the door. Whoa. Suddenly, I felt something cold softly touch my face. It was a cluster of vines wet from the rain. I pushed through the vines and made my way out. There, I found a balcony facing the back garden. Wooden scaffolding had been set up there a long time ago. It had become worn down over the years. In the center was a single wooden table that started to rot, with 3 deck chairs set around it. Each had been turned to face in different locations. There was an overhead trellis with vines hanging down, making it look like the entrance to a haunted house. The rain had stopped, but the water still dripped from the vines, hitting my face and shoulders. What an awesome entrance, huh? I had intended to be cynical, but it looked like Nami hadn't heard me. She suddenly tugged at my hand and pointed to one of the pillars holding up the trellis. Hey, look at that, huh? Isn't that something shining there? It's true. The beam looked like a long, thin shadow, and I could see a dim yellow light near the bottom. It didn't seem like a flame or an electric light. It was a gentle light with some sort of sheen to it. Is it the spirit of Princess Kalki? Huh? I thought you'd say that. I walked up to the pillar. Oh, it's fluorescent paint. 2 lines about as thick as my finger had been drawn with some space between them, one over the other. But why here of all places? I bent down toward and turned the light towards the lower line. The paint had dried on top of the wooden pillar's original paint, making it appear crusty. A straight line had been painted over it with fluorescent paint. And upon closer inspection, it seemed that something had been used, perhaps a nail, to etch something in the wood. A straight line along with what appeared to be letters on the right of it. What's this? Something written here? I strained my eyes to see what it was, but it was old and worn out and crusted with paint, so it was too hard to see. We'll be able to read it if we scratch off the paint, Nami said as she started scratching away at the paint with her fingernails. It was fun watching her hard at work peeling away the paint, and as soon as the pillar revealed what was written underneath, Nami, that's what had been carved there, felt like there was something black in the pit of my stomach. Nami stopped moving her finger the moment she saw it, but went right back to peeling off the paint. Hey, Nami, I tapped her on the shoulder behind, but she ignored me and kept working on scratching the paint away. She ended up scratching off the paint up to centimeters above and below the painted area. Most of the old paint had totally scratched off. There were actually 2 lines underneath both of the line, a total of 4 in all, and beside each line was a name. The names Nami, Naomi, and Nami had been carved in that order. Slowly, Nami looked behind me. She had a stoic expression on her face. Comparing heights. Huh? Oh, right. I see. I wonder who Naomi is, huh? Well, I'm Nami, right? But who's Naomi? Hey. What are you talking about? I gave Nami's shoulder an exaggerated shrug. That's the name of the girl who lives here. You're overthinking it. Am I? You are. It's just a coincidence. What's wrong with you, Nami? You're not acting like yourself. You look really dark, too. I hope it's just a coincidence, but... What about that lady you mentioned earlier? The one in the white dress? Huh? She looked like me, didn't she? I didn't see her face. Oh. All sorts of questions came to mind. Why would Nami's name be here in a place like this? Who was Naomi? What did Nami mean by that? Why would her name be in a place like this? Why would Nami's name be in a place like this, Nami? Nami looked intently at the height comparison lines. She seemed pale. I knew we had to get away from this place first and foremost. Come on, let's go inside. We just got soaked from those mines, right after our bath. But Nami still had a dark expression on her face. I brought my mouth up to Nami's ears. We could just take a shower together this time, you know? Don't be stupid. She finally laughed a little. All right, let's go. Sure. I took Nami by the hand and we walked towards the slated shutter door. I looked back before we went through the door and I could see speckles of the fluorescent paint still left behind on one side of the dark balcony. Creepy. Should we check that room? We still hadn't fully checked everything on the left side. I started walking that way. Do you think it's open? I stood in front of the door and turned the knob. It sure is dark, huh? The only illumination was provided by a single candle in the corner of the room. There was a switch on the wall. The lights turned on. There was a dazzling bright chandelier hanging from the ceiling. It sure is spacious here. Say, hey, isn't that a piano over there? Nami pointed to the right side of the room. You're right. It's a piano hall. We went inside. Okay, what mansion has a piano hall? Like, this seems odd. It's a little odd, but okay. There were sliding glass doors leading out to the backyard. It may look quite beautiful during the day, but at night the black against the glass just reflected what was in the room. Before I knew it, Nami was standing in front of the piano, tapping away at the keys. You can play the piano, Nami? I can't play it well enough to answer that question with a yes, but I do like the sound of the piano. Well, what song is that? don't know. I don't know the title or even who composed it. Someone taught you how to play it? No, I just remember hearing it a long time ago. I'm not sure when, though. I find it odd myself. Life's like that sometimes, yeah? Suddenly, Nami's hand stopped moving. What's wrong? Is it over already? Nami was looking past me, over my shoulder. Hey, that's... When I looked behind me, I saw a painting of a lady hung up on the wall. It was a woman in her 30s wearing traditional Japanese clothing, standing with a mountain range behind her. Her long hair had been brushed over her left shoulder. She had wildflowers in both hands, which she clutched against her chest. Picture? Obviously, but do you notice anything special about it? Nami smiled as if she was challenging me. I started to panic. Was it painted by a famous artist? I didn't know anything about paintings, though. Looks like an early Picasso, doesn't it? I made it up on the spot to sound intelligent. She's pretty, isn't she? I try and change the subject. Hey, is it the hypsiliums? That's probably what it is. Hey, those are the hypsiliums she's holding. Oh yeah, now that you mention it. But there's something else, too. Does she look like me? Huh? That was sudden. I took another look at the woman in the painting. At first, I didn't know what Nami meant. The lady's makeup was very old-fashioned, and the painting seemed old, so I couldn't really see a resemblance to Nami, who was a typical modern-day girl. But as I looked at it more, I saw similarity in the eyes, and that's when it hit me. Nami bent her head the same way whenever she smiled, and had a tendency of slightly lifting up her chin. It made her look less symmetrical. When she got careless, the expression even made her ever look so homely. It made me feel uneasy, like handling a newborn babies who can't even support their own neck yet. I did love it when Nami smiled, but every time she did, I felt a sense of loss and fear. The smile of the lady in the painting made me feel that exact same sense of unease. More than her physical features, it was her expression that surprised me. I don't see it. She doesn't look like you at all. I lied because I found it creepy how similar they were. Oh. Nami smiled lightly and tilted her head. It was like the painting came to life. It sent a chill down my spine. But, Nami, you're not as pretty as her. I turned away, so I didn't have to meet Nami's gaze. So you're saying I'm ugly? Nami slammed the piano keys and stood up. I didn't say you were ugly. You said it just now. No, I didn't. Yes, you did. Nami pouted angrily. Now her face looked nothing like the picture. No, it's just... I started to lighten up my expression. Okay, I said it. What, are you just teasing me? Then I'm not playing the piano for you ever again. Nami turned her back to me. The wind blew in at that moment. Uh-oh. The curtains blew up to the lit candle in the piano and caught on fire, which quickly spread across the entire curtain. Oh my god. Oh god. Okay, now it's on. Everything's just on fire. They just... everything's on fire now. It's the creepy painting that looks like her. Like, I have a bad... this is a bad feeling. Like... I feel like there's some time warp shenanigans going on. The burning curtain fell over to Nami's face. Nami pulled the curtain off in a hurry. The metal part that attached to the rail ripped right off. I hurled it to the floor and stomped on it with my feet in a panic. The fire was strong, but fortunately the thin curtains didn't provide it much fuel. Since it had nothing else to travel to, I managed to extinguish the fire. Phew, the whole house almost went down in flames. Are you okay, Nami? She didn't respond. She stood there facing the wall, her back turned to me. What's wrong? A burn? When I asked this question, Nami turned to me and slowly nodded. Where? Where's the burn? The face. Huh? I approached her, confused, until she pointed at the lady in the painting. When the curtain was flapping around, the heat must have melted the oil in the painting, making the lady appear to have been burned on the right side of her face. Oh, is that all? Man, you really surprised me. I thought you meant your own face. I laughed, relieved, until Nami said something that made no sense. Mom. Sis? What do you mean, sis? I didn't know what she was talking about. Nami's an only child. I stood there dumbfounded, and then Nami suddenly started trembling and ran for the exit. Where are you going? Flustered, I grabbed Nami by the arm. Let me go. I have to find that mummy or else. That mummy? The one in the wheelchair? Yeah, so let me go. Nami struggled so hard I thought she might rip my arm off. Calm down, Nami. What's going on? Let me go. I'm not letting you go until you calm down. I grabbed Nami by both shoulders and looked her straight in the eyes. What's this all about? Explain it to me. I used to live in this house. I lived here a long time ago. I snoozed. Okay, there's some time shenanigans. I feel like this is like a spirit possession, like, type situation. Like, it's like a time, like some weird time shenanigan. Like, that's my best guess. Like, it's some weird, oh, this person looks like you type situation, and now it's in your head that you're thinking that, oh, that is me. Type thing. Maybe. Let's keep reading. A long time ago. How long ago was it? I don't know. I just know it was when I was really little. I lived here together with my mom and dad, and my older sister. Your older sister? But you're an only child, right? No. I had an older sister, she whispered. Why did you hide it from me? I always heard you talk about her before. I've never heard you talk about her before. I wasn't hiding it from you, Sachu. I'd never do that. I only just knew it now. I remembered for the first time. I'm as shocked as you are that I had a different mom. But now I know. I remember her now. Nami's lips quivered. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that you hid it from me. I should watch what I say. I apologized, but I still couldn't believe what she was saying. We stumbled into this mansion by accident. She just happens to have lived here a long time ago. But Nami, it's not that I don't believe you, but isn't it impossible that you're just mistaken? I mean, all sorts of crazy things have been happening to us since we got here. You're tired. You're not thinking straight. No, this can't be some kind of trick. Nami shook her head. I remember now, though it's faint. It's getting clearer. But if it's true, Oh, Sachu. Nami looked at me as though she wanted me to save her. What should I do? That mummy has to be either my mom or my sister, but what am I supposed to do? I didn't know what to say to her. Nami looked down at the ground, trembling. I might have done something I can never undo. Something you can never undo? What would that be? I can't remember what it is yet, but it's something. I did something to my sister, but I can't remember what. That's why I have to find that mummy. Nami stumbled to the hallway. I said, Okay, Nami, I'll help you. We'll find that mummy together. Wait, Nami, let's go to the sofa and sit down. You still have enough time for that, right? Okay, I feel like we should just go find the mummy together. Okay, Nami, I'll help you. We'll find that mummy together. Nami and I left the piano room. It was silent in the hall, as if nothing had happened. We should start searching from the second floor, shouldn't we? We slowly trudged upstairs. Nami had said what she said, but it made no sense to me. She'd found her name here, and we'd experienced all sorts of strange things, but she's just confused. Once we've checked through everything, we'll get some rest on the sofa. Tomorrow, the two of us will probably be having a good laugh about all of this. Okay, we should start checking from the second floor. As we head up to the second floor hallway, I turned and looked behind me. Nami wasn't there. Did I lose her somewhere? I was sure she was right behind me. I looked, let's see. Choices. I looked down the hall on the first floor. Where did she go? I checked down the second floor hallway. I feel like she's still on the first floor. Because, where else would she be? I looked down into the hall on the first floor. When I turned around to face the sudden sound I heard, I saw a wheelchair with nobody on it racing towards me at high speed. Whoa, I had dodged the wheel by the skin of my teeth. The wheelchair collided with the handrail of the stairs. If it had hit me, I might have fallen downstairs along with the wheelchair, but there was something else I was more concerned about. I caught a glimpse of the person who thrust the wheelchair towards me. It looked like Nami. Could she have done it? That was going too far just to be a joke. Could the confusion that she was feeling have driven her crazy? Glancing at the wheelchair, I noticed something silver shining on it. It was a wrench. Oh, hey, this is my wrench. The wrench that was wrapped in tape and had my name, Sachu, written on it. I've been using it to do maintenance on my car. Who brought this here? At that moment, a door opened nearby. Oh, Nami. Nami had a stoic look on her face. You had me worried there. I ran over to her, but Nami took one look at me, stepped back in the room she was in, and shut the door. Hey! I dashed over and opened the door. Nami had buried her face into the bed on the right-hand corner of the door. What happened, Nami? Nami didn't look up. She was pointing at the desk. It looked like she had just started crying. There was a single photograph on the desk. It was an old photograph with a sepia color tone. The photo were two girls, probably around 3 years old, standing next to each other wearing the exact same white blouse. Not only were they wearing matching clothes, they looked perfectly alike. I'm guessing they were identical twins conceived from a single egg. When I saw the photo, I immediately understand what Nami was thinking, but I asked her anyway. So, what's the big deal? That photo. She looks like me, doesn't she? I could hear Nami's voice coming from under the bedsheet. It sounded like she was crying. How so? I don't see the resemblance. Take a closer look then. Why? There's no way either of these little kids turned into a girl as beautiful as you, Nami. Stop it. That's enough. Enough of what? Look at the name tags printed on their chests. Name tags? The two girls in the photo did have name tags pinned to their chest. One was Nami and the other was Naomi. So what? It's just a coincidence. When I hesitated to say any more, Nami looked at me. The second her eyes met, she covered her face with her hands and jumped straight out of the room. It was all too much. I was dumbfounded. Was everything that Nami said true? Did she really live here with her sister? Then that wasn't Nami, but Naomi? If they were identical twins, then it wouldn't be out of the question. But why? Why would Nami's sister mess with my car and attack me? What did I ever do to her, now that I think about it? I remember what happened in the shower. Maybe that was Naomi, too. I don't know why she would have a grudge against me, but one thing was clear. She was trying to hurt us. I started to get worried about Nami. Nami! When I went out to the hallway, the door further ahead was closed. It was probably Naomi's room. I started walking that way, but when I looked down, I could see wet footprints that led to a different room. I also heard the piano coming from below. Where could Nami be? Oh, I don't like this. I ran to the hallway, to the door that had been shut. I feel like following the wet footprints is probably the best idea, because, that might be Naomi. Okay, let's do that. I followed the wet footprints. The footprints continued to the room where I first saw the mummy. I could hear a voice inside. I held my breath as I peered through the keyhole. There were two Namis. One had fallen on the floor. The other was standing in front of her wearing a wet white dress, but their faces were identical. The one on the floor was wearing the clothes that Nami had been wearing. Does that mean the girl in the white dress is Naomi? The girl who looked like Nami was pointing a knife at Nami and screaming, We're going to me and my brother's place. Brother? There's a brother too? Well, I didn't have time to think about it. Naomi started coming closer to Nami with the knife. Stop! I stumbled into the room and leapt for the hand that held the knife. Don't interfere. Are you Naomi? Why would you do this to your own sister? That's none of your business. Naomi put up a struggle, but then I got the knife away from her. She ran out the open door into the hallway, and then she was gone. Nami, are you okay? Sachu. Nami's voice was trembling. Is that Naomi? Your sister? Why was she about to stab you with a knife? And what's this about a brother? You had a brother too? Despite the excitement of what just happened, Naomi could only look at back. Not Naomi. Nami could only look back at me with sadness in her eyes. Were you hurt? I'm fine. Thank you, Sachu. I don't know what would have happened to me if you hadn't come. Right. But anyway, was that Naomi? That's what she told me. She said she's my sister. I was shocked. What about your brother? I don't know about him. I just don't know. Nami stumbled for the right words. It's okay. You don't have to try to remember. A book had been dropped on the floor. I picked it up and saw that it was a diary. Well, it's the same diary from before. And then I saw that it detailed the struggles and loneliness that Naomi experienced taking care of her brother after her mother had passed away. I'm afraid to go to sleep, wondering to myself, will Naoki be dead when I wake up? The very thought tears me apart. I really will end up all alone here, but with all of the pain Naoki's in, all of the screaming, if there's no cure for this, I'd rather just die. There's no point keeping me alive. Kill me, Naomi. Please make the pain stop. Kill me. Oh, Naoki. If only I had been the one who got sick instead of you, yet even this burn that I suffered, I'm forced to live. Why did you get sick, Naoki? And why did I have to be the one to live on? Naomi started talking, her voice mumbled by her tears. Naomi, before you got here. Sachu, she kept reading that to me. She said that despite all the hardships she faced, even the death of our brother couldn't stop her from wanting to see me. But I don't know anything about that. She said the three of us played together as kids, but I have no memory of him. Still, I do remember the fire that burned her, because I was the one who caused it. You can't blame yourself for that, especially not for something that happened when you were a kid, but... I held Naomi tightly as I turned to the last page. Let me sink to the bottom of the ocean. Let me find rest there in my ocean. It was Naoki's last will, and I did just as he said. Now I'm all alone. The diary ended there. What did he mean, let me sink to the bottom of my ocean? That's when it hit me. Nami, your brother might not be dead. Huh? The mummy's eyes. They look just like yours. The mummy's eyes look just like mine. At first, I thought it was Naomi, but maybe the mummy is your brother, only dressed like a mummy. But the diary pretty much said that he's dead. When I took the knife from Naomi, I got a look at her eyes. I could see that she wasn't right in the head. She might think he's dead, but that doesn't mean he really is. Wasn't there a room we still haven't entered yet, Nami? Yeah, the door that was sealed off. If we go there, we might be able to figure out what happened. I headed to the exit. Okay, this is, taking a weird turn. First it was Scooby-Doo mystery, now this is just a weird, crazy, person. Wait, I'm going to. You sure you'll be okay? Maybe you could lock the door and just wait in here. No, I'll go. This is my problem to solve. It's my family, after all. It sounded like Nami had made up her mind. She wasn't crying anymore. Okay. We'll go together. The door was closed, but was it still locked? I grabbed the doorknob. Ugh. It suddenly felt like something heavy hit the back of my head. Then, I figured the ocean was the aquarium from the beginning. Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense, because the key for whatever the locked room is probably the thing that was floating in the aquarium. Then I fell unconscious. The key for whatever it is probably in the aquarium, and that's why you need to choose... Oh, okay. But you wouldn't know that on your first playthrough if you didn't think about that. Oh, okay. I get it. I get it now. That makes sense. I wouldn't have put two and two together, to be quite honest. I slowly opened my eyes and saw the red carpet of the hallway. Ugh, my head still hurt. Tried to move my right hand to my head. That's when I realized I was unable to move. I'd been tied to a wheelchair. Oh, excuse me. I did not mean to burp. Oh, shit. I wriggled my body to try and loosen the rope. So, you're awake. I heard a voice from behind me. Is that you, Nami? Untie me. Tried to twist my head to look behind me, but I couldn't turn it far enough to see your face. Let's get going, shall we? The lady behind me started pushing the wheelchair. Nami? You're not Nami, are you? Her voice sounded exactly the same, though. Was this Naomi? I was lonely. I can't tell you how lonely I was. You wouldn't understand. You forgot all about us. This wasn't Nami. Where could Nami have gone? I really did feel sorry for Naoki. He was in pain, unbearable pain. He weathered it all, though, until he was nothing but skin and bones. I dreamed that he would have lived together. That we could have lived together, the three of us, but you never came. What is she talking about? And where was she taking me? Even after Naoki passed away, you didn't come. I hated you for that. It was all because of the fire that you started. It seemed like she was talking to me as if I were Nami. I managed to get one of my hands free and pulled my lighter out of my pocket. The wheelchair rolled slowly down the second floor hallway. Dad died in the fire you started. Mom was so affected by the shock of it that she grew sick, and my forehead. Naomi was at a loss for Naomi was at a loss for words for a second. I was just glad that Naoki was unharmed. Back then, I had no idea that you were the one who started the fire. I lit the lighter to burn through the rope. I read Mom's diary after she died. That's when I found out that what you had done. That was about the same time that Naoki started getting sick. Her voice started to tremble, and the wheelchair came to a stop. We were right in front of the staircase. Oh no. Suddenly, she started screaming. You need to pay for what you've done. You killed Dad. You paralyzed Mom. You made Naoki sick, and now he's dead. Now all that's left is me and this burn that has never gone away after all these years. Naoki wanted to meet you again before he died. So now it's time for you to set things right. It's time for you to meet Naoki face to face. I loved just how much he suffered. Together, you and I will dive into the depths of his ocean. The rope finally broke, but only my torso had been freed. My legs were still tied. I was able to turn around and look behind me. Where did you take Nami? The girl looked exactly like Nami, but she was staring up at the ceiling with a terrifying expression on her face. I don't know what sort of painful stuff you went through, but you're talking about something that happened when you were kids. Nami's done nothing wrong now. Who are you? What does it matter who I am? Where did you take Nami? That's none of your business. She thrust the wheelchair forward. Whoa. I crashed down the stairs along with the wheelchair. My entire body was hit hard. When I looked up, I couldn't see her. I have to hurry. I've got to hurry and find Nami. I untied my legs, and even though it was painful, I forced myself to stand up. As I stood up, a key fell to the ground. Don't tell me this is. I headed off to the door where I had been knocked unconscious while I tried to go through it. If Naomi thought that I was Nami in the wheelchair, that would mean the real Nami is still alive. Nami, wait for me. I'm coming to save you. I stood in front of that unopened door. The spikes that had been driven into it had already been removed. I set the key in the door and into the lock and twisted it, and it unlocked. I open the door. The room was a dreadful sight to behold. This is where the fire Naomi was talking about had happened. Everything in the room had been burnt to a crisp. The walls were all solid black, and there was a gaping hole in the ceiling. The carpet had been completely burned to ash. The wind was blowing through the broken glass windows. There was no sign of Nami. Naomi must have moved her, but in the center of the room was the mummy I'd seen before, sitting in the wheelchair. This is Nami's mom. Placed on her knees was the open diary she had been reading before going unconscious. Something had been written on the last page. Mom, I'm going to take Nami to be with Naoki now. Be with Naoki? Where? At that moment, I remembered Naoki's final request. Let me sink to the bottom of my ocean. The aquarium! Okay, so you were right about the aquarium. At that moment, there was a huge sound. The room shook violently. What's happening? In pain, I stepped back into the hall. I heard the sound of water from downstairs. I ran over and saw the figure of a person running down the stairs and out of sight. Then I heard another explosion. The other side of the hall was well lit. It looked as though flames were coming up from the underground boiler room, but there was no time to deal with that now. I ran straight to the aquarium, rubbed the glass, and looked inside. There, in the murky water, I saw Nami's face. Nami! I struck the aquarium with both of my fists, but it didn't even move a budge. It didn't even budge. That's when I grabbed the axe that was hanging on the wall. I broke the aquarium glass, and with a huge rush of water, out came Nami in a pile of white bones. I put my ear to Nami's mouth. She wasn't breathing. I placed my hand on her chest. No movement. Nami, this can't be happening. I pushed her chest hard, and a squirt of black water emerged from her mouth. However, she didn't spit out the water the way a living person might. It was like the water had been pushed out of her by a pump. Nami, I kept pushing her chest like crazy. Less water started coming out, and then nothing came out at all. Nami, I'll kiss you, so open your eyes. I held her head and started giving her mouth to mouth. Her lips were cold. I breathed as hard as I could to send air into Nami's lungs, but her body remained just as cold. Nothing had changed. Nami, dead? No, can't be. Please, open your eyes. I propped Nami and shook her shoulders as far as her could. Her body gave no resistance. She felt like a doll. I know what you're up to. I laughed at Nami. You're just closing your eyes, yeah? You're always trying to get to me, and I always fall for it. You're waiting for me to start crying so you can open your eyes and shout boo. Well, it's not gonna work this time. I'm gonna let go of you, you know? I took my hands away from her shoulders. Nami's torso slumped to the ground like a mannequin. No, Nami, don't be like that. You always wanted to fool me, didn't you? Well, you fooled me good. Look, you even got me crying now. You did it. You won. You can start laughing now. Nami didn't even budge. I could barely see the bones scattered around her because of my tears. I don't know what happened with your brother, but why did you have to die, Nami? Damn it. I stood up and kicked one of the bones. It bounced off the floor and rolled around. It was a skull. This skull. It had a long jaw and a line of sharp teeth. This skull isn't human. It must have been a dog or something. Don't tell me. Maybe she didn't have a brother after all. Could this have been another one of Naomi's delusions? I looked up at Nami's cold face. How? Why did Nami have to die just because of her sister's sick fantasies? Shit, I'm gonna kill that bitch. I stood up and ran into the hallway, but at some point the fire had spread and I couldn't get one step past the bedroom. I opened the door to the dining room. Nobody was in there. I opened the door to the study. Nobody was in there. I opened the door to the piano hall. Nobody was in there. I ran up the stairs, but the hands of the flames had reached this far, and I couldn't manage to continue down the hallway. I have to carry Nami out of here. I looked down from the second floor. I couldn't believe my eyes. Nami was gone. Did Nami come back to life? For a brief moment, I was overjoyed, but then I considered another possibility. Could she have stolen Nami's corpse? No, there's no way. Nami must have come back to life. Saw the fire and ran. Kept telling myself that as I headed downstairs. The door at the entrance wouldn't open. Oh shit, I'll have to out through the back at this rate, yet the entrance hall was already completely covered in flames. There's nowhere to run. The smoke and hot wind started to envelop me. Was I going to burn to death in this house? No. Nami's alive. And there's no way I'm gonna die here either. Suddenly, a gust of cold wind caressed the flames. I turned to face the wind blowing towards me. The fireplace had popped open. There's where the wind was coming from. The walls were starting to crumble. I jumped into the chimney. I squatted down inside and managed to fit through. It was pitch black inside and I couldn't see anything, but I could feel a narrow path stretching out in front of me. My hands searched for the walls and moved further down the path. Could Nami have gone through here too? Maybe when she was a kid she played in here, like it was a secret tunnel. That's what I thought. I imagined Nami squatting and moving down the same path just ahead of me. I then called out into the darkness, Nami. There was no reply. No, she's got to be there. She's got to be there just ahead. The path had been leading down at a gradual slant till it started rising, and then suddenly I could see yellow flowers before my very eyes. It was the other side of the greenhouse. Why here, though? I looked over at the mansion and saw that the fire had already taken the second floor. Flames danced out of the broken windows. Oh, I saw someone enter the mansion from the back door. Was that Nami? I rushed over to see. But I tripped over something and fell. What I had tripped over was Nami. She was right there on the ground, but even though my foot had rammed into hers, she hadn't budged. This had to be Nami. Hey, hold on. Put my ear to her chest. No movement. No, wait, something's moved just now. I listened harder, but I couldn't hear anything. No, that can't be right. Something moved now. I heard it. I started pushing Nami's chest with both hands again. Nami, hurry up and open your eyes. Wake up already. I spoke to Nami ever so gently. Nami, it's time to go back. You need to get up. She didn't respond. What are you doing, Nami? If you don't hurry up, I'm leaving you behind. Brought my hands down on her chest forcefully. You made it all the way back here. Didn't you? Why don't you go back to the way you were before? Wake up. But there was no response. I thrust my hands down again on her chest and kept going. Nami, but it made no difference. Before I knew it, I wasn't even pushing down on her chest anymore. I was just lightly tapping without I was lightly tapping her without any strength at all. Nami. How? Why? I dropped my face against Nami's chest in despair. Huh? Shocked, I pushed my ear down. Nami. I'm certain I could hear her heart beating. Nami. I started pushing against her chest again. With each push, I could see her breathe a little stronger and color started to return to her face. I screamed, Nami. Ugh. She struggled to breathe and her eyelids moved. Sachu? Nami. I hugged her. I'm so glad. Nami. What happened to me? You're okay. You're gonna be just fine. I was overcome with tears. Oh, I remember. Naomi. My sister. Nami looked up at the burning mansion. It's on fire. Don't tell me. Nami had a dark look on her face. There was nothing I could do for her. I was totally focused on saving you. What about my brother, Naoki? What about him? There was no brother, Nami. That was just one of Naomi's delusions. You never had a brother. One of her delusions? She was lonely, so she made him up. The bones Naomi said that were her brothers turned out to be the bones of a dog. She can't be serious. At that moment, I could hear crazed screaming coming from inside the mansion. Aoki! Naoki! My sister. Don't. We'd never make it to her in time. I stopped Nami, who had started to run towards the mansion. Naoki! At that instant, the mansion started to collapse, and the sound of it falling overpowered her scream. The mansion was done for. As I watched the roof fall in, and the stone walls crumbled away, it was as if Naomi's grudge had been the only thing that had kept the old place standing for as long as it did. And now, that grudge was buried under the rubble of the mansion along with Naomi herself. My sister. Nami fell to her knees. Tears streamed from her eyes. To the side of Nami's face, lit up red by the fire of the burning rubble, I saw a single hypercilium swaying to and fro. But who the heck was in the armor? What about the mummy? I think this you find out on. So there are multiple endings from my understanding. So you're supposed to play through it again. And I need to find a walkthrough to figure out which choices you were supposed to make. But like you do find out more about the sister and all that stuff, and if you play through it again and pick some different stuff, which I might do on another I might do another playthrough on a different stream, but this is essentially this is the first ending you're supposed to get, pretty much. It's not a long game for your first playthrough. I think the visual novel database listed as 3 hours for your first playthrough. Obviously it takes longer if you're going through it again, if you pick different stuff, that type of thing. But I have to, when I find a playthrough map, I'll probably do another stream with the thorough playthrough, going to the other ending. But yeah, this was quite interesting. Very interesting. It's an interesting game, and it's interesting because this also was like Chunsoft's like first initial like sound novel, and it like this is what propelled them as a company to do, keep making games, and then eventually, we get Spike Chunsoft and all that stuff, so it's like, it's a pivotal game in that aspect. and stuff no one was really doing on the SNES at that time, so it's interesting. The graphics and the music were really good. Like, I wasn't expecting it to be like this nice, but yeah, very interesting. I do want to see if I can find a walkthrough to see what I needed to hit on the other choices, but for a game made in 1992, like, it's pretty good. Try again. So that's what it means with, you know. Yeah, I didn't know the SNES can make sounds like this either. I mean, I also didn't grow up with the SNES, unfortunately, so I don't. This was all like new to me in that aspect, but that was interesting for sure. Um, but yeah, um, I for sure want to play this again and see if we can get the actual like real ending and not just like on the first playthrough like I did now. But um, I this is a longer stream than I normally do, but it was fun. I was actually kind of fun. So I'm definitely gonna have to find the walkthrough, and we'll have to go through this again on a different time. But that was fun. I think this, honestly, like for design concept alone at the time, for a game made in 1992, this was pretty top notch. Like people weren't even doing this stuff on a PC level, so I enjoyed it. Very enjoyable. I'm excited to play through it again with other choices and see how far we get. But for now, this is the end for now. So, but thank you all for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed my dramatic reading of the game. Uh, bye bye. Thank you all for joining me. Hopefully, we'll play another playthrough of it once I get a walkthrough guide.